TV superstar. Neighborhood star. Come on, man, you look good up here, man. I like the new setting. Y'all done moved on up like the Jeffersons. You got Darts, got the block up.
Okay, so let's talk about the Wiz and the Snoop and the T.I. because you have such a great relationship with these guys. The respect level.
Well, my relationship with Snoop is different. I really don't have a business relationship with Snoop other than that.
First of all, I want to thank y'all for allowing me the opportunity to speak here today. It's a real honor to be able to appear here and to show love on behalf of my friend, my brother, a great man, a great leader, a great father, a great teacher, and a great friend, Nipsey Hussle.
There's a lot going on behind the scenes in hip-hop, and Snoop Dogg's name keeps coming up in some shady conversations. A new federal indictment is stirring the pot, and all eyes are now on the West Coast OG. Why? Because people are starting to realize that Snoop might have more ties to the streets than he lets on, especially with someone like Big U, who's been linked to some of the darkest stories in LA rap history. And when you connect the dots, Snoop has a pattern of playing both sides, using his charm and fame to blur his real loyalty, just like he did with Tupac, just like he's doing with Nipsey Hussle. Let's break it down. Snoop once had a close, genuine friendship with Nipsey Hussle. He spoke at Nip's memorial, gave interviews calling him a South Central legend, and even said seeing Nip and Lauren together reminded him of himself and his wife. Nip respected him. Black Sam also respected him. And in 2022, Sam even sent Snoop a personalized marathon care package filled with rare pieces they only gave to those who truly supported Nipsey while he was alive. But now, that love is dead, and it's not hard to see why.
Superman could fly. So
Yeah,
that's
he can.
automatic. He was popping.
And he was able
You know
to
what I'm
leap
saying?
tall buildings at a single bound.
Yeah, Batman was
Bruce
a billionaire.
Wayne? He had paper.
Snoop was recently seen cozying up with Big U, the same man that many believe played a role in Nipsey's death. The same Big U that Nipsey publicly called out in his song, "You Don't Got a Clue," accusing him of trying to control and extort him. Let's not forget, Big U reportedly ran a protection racket in LA, demanding up to $20,000 a month from artists like Nipsey. But Nip wasn't about to be extorted. He cut off payments, stood on business, and just weeks later, he was gunned down. Coincidence? A lot of people don't think so.
So now Nip saying, I don't want to pay that $20,000 to Big U no more. Well, give me the equipment then. You don't want to pay no more? They say they fell out over the equipment, but that wasn't about no equipment.
According to multiple sources, Big U allegedly spread a false narrative to Eric Holder saying that Nipsey was bad-mouthing him and discrediting his street reputation. That alleged lie led Eric to confront Nipsey outside his store, and we all know how that ended. Black Sam never liked Big U, not even when Nip and Big U briefly squashed their beef. He didn't trust him, didn't want him around. And honestly, it's not just because of Nipsey. Sam had beef with Big U going all the way back to 2017 when their childhood friend Stephen Fats Donaldson was gunned down in a drive-by just a week after confronting Big U for pressing Nip.
Nipsey Hussle's best friend.
Krusty, that was my celly in Lancaster, man. Me and him was porters, man. Lancaster building 2.
Yeah. You know what we went through, you know?
Got the old footage, man.
The timeline is way too suspicious. Fats sticks up for Nip, Fats gets killed, Nipsey cuts ties with Big U, Nipsey gets killed. And through it all, Snoop Dogg is out here playing both sides. Big U has a show called Checking In, which, let's be real, is basically a power play. The man is known for making rappers check in with him when they enter LA, a practice Nipsey flat out opposed. Nip wanted unity, not extortion. But guess who shows up on that show like it's a family reunion? Snoop Dogg, grinning, laughing, talking about neighborhood love.
It puts people like me and you in a position to be mentors and to take our bad things that we done and make good things out of it with the kids that follow us.
It's giving fake. It's giving opportunist. Because Snoop knew what Big U allegedly did. He knew about the protection money. He knew Nipsey publicly distanced himself from Big U. So for him to show up on that show after Nipsey's death, that was a slap in the face to everyone who truly stood with Nip. And Black Sam noticed.
I swear to God, everything he said in the music was who he was, and it's not too much I can't tell you about him, and I just hope that he knows we all proud of him.
Since Nipsey's death, Black Sam has made it very clear, if you didn't protect Nip, you don't get to profit from his name. At the grand opening of Marathon Burger, Sam kicked out a well-known figure from the West Decrypt crew, telling him straight up that anybody who didn't take action against Nipsey's enemies had no place around him. Later, he even confronted Brick Baby, a rapper who openly admitted he still rocks with Eric Holder. Yes, the same man who killed Nipsey, simply because Eric once saved his life.
Like you said, Eric Holder got put on, and you guys actually lived together at one point. Eric Holder comes back and ends up killing Nipsey, as well as like kicking him in the face and so forth.
Sam wasn't trying to hear it. That's how real his loyalty runs. Meanwhile, Snoop still rubbing shoulders with Big U like nothing happened. Now, let's rewind to Tupac, because this is where the pattern really becomes clear. Everyone remembers how close Snoop and Tupac seemed to be. They toured together, did music together, stood side by side at the height of Death Row's power. But behind the scenes, it was way messier. There was a moment that says it all. Snoop, Tupac, and Suge Knight were flying on the same plane. Pac was so paranoid, the tension was sky high. And Snoop, he went to sleep that night with a knife under his blanket, ready to stab anyone if they came for him. That's how fractured the trust was.
I walked to the back of the plane, give me a blanket, grab me a knife and a fork, put the blanket over my nose right here, my low black glasses on, and ride like this the whole flight, hoping one of them come with me so I could stab at everybody on the smoke.
But years later, Snoop talks in interviews like Pac was his brother, like they never had beef, acting like he was devastated by his death, acting like he always had Pac's back. Sound familiar? Because when Nipsey died, Snoop did the same exact thing. And let's not forget, there have long been rumors that Diddy had something to do with Tupac's death. People have speculated for years that Diddy was involved in orchestrating the hit, either directly or by association. Names like Keef D and Big Dre get tossed around. Allegedly, Big Dre was even in the car with Keef D the night Pac got shot.
So because I said, I'm cool with Puffy and Biggie doing the interview with you. Tupac took it as if I wasn't down with him no more, as if I was side busted, as if I was scared. Death Row looked at me as like a traitor.
Now here's the gag. Snoop worked with Biggie. He did songs with him, helped promote his music, even after Dre put out a mixtape featuring Snoop alongside other big names, despite being a suspect in Pac's case.
Biggie was my homeboy, you know, and I mean, he was a real friend of mine. Like, I remember early on, you know, when we used to come out here, he used to hang out with him.
And if that wasn't enough, Snoop also kept working with Diddy. Even when Suge Knight and other Death Row insiders were pointing fingers in Diddy's direction, Snoop was all smiles and collaborations.
Hey, dog, what about the Lakers?
We do agree on. Yeah. They don't like Boston, man. That's the one thing about us, man. We don't like Boston, man.
Before he died, Tupac even called Snoop out for being a traitor. One of the most telling moments was when Snoop went on New York radio, just days after recording diss tracks with Tupac aimed at Biggie and Puff, and suddenly acted like everything was cool. Pac was livid. He saw it as betrayal. That's what broke their friendship. And that same exact pattern played out with Nipsey. After Tupac died, Snoop went on a press tour acting like they were soul brothers, gave emotional interviews, claimed Pac gave him his first blunt, even though actress Cameron Diaz once said she was buying weed from Snoop before he ever met Pac. He rewrote their history, sanitized it, capitalized off the legacy, and then, after Nipsey's murder, he did it again. Suddenly, he was everywhere, at the memorial, in interviews, quoting Nipsey, using phrases like "marathon continues," while also hanging out with the one man believed to have helped orchestrate Nipsey's death by spreading lies to his killer.
With that being said, Lauren, my wife, my family, my kids, we're here for you. Whatever you need, If you need a shoulder to cry on, if you need a hug, if you just need to get away, we're here for you. We love you, baby girl. We always have and we always will.
You know what I'm saying? Beatboxing. And next thing you know, Snoop made it and seen Diamond again and was just like, you look like that girl who was talking all that about this little. And she was like, yeah, corrupt.
Let's not act like this is the first time Snoop's name got tied up in some mess. Remember back in '93, Snoop got hit with a red rum charge. A man named Philip Woldemariam ended up dead after a shooting in LA. Snoop was behind the wheel. His bodyguard pulled the trigger. They said it was self-defense. But here's where it gets messy. Snoop walked, clean, acquitted in '96. But ever since then, there's been quiet talk in the streets that Snoop might have talked. to save himself. Now listen, nobody's ever pulled receipts with that he snitched claim, but the rumor's been circling for decades.
I'm curious, what was going through your mind at the time that the jury was reading the verdict?
I left it in God's hand, Abby. That's why I looked so stone-faced. I didn't have no expressions, you know what I'm saying? It was all in it.
And it hits different when you look at how he moves. Cause see, this man's got a habit of flipping the script. Years later, Snoop told people he personally pushed Suge Knight to bail Tupac out of jail. Sounds heroic, right? Only problem? Tupac's close homie Napoleon came out and straight up said that was a lie. He said Pac didn't need no help, he was respected in there. Nobody was treating him like he needed saving.
Okay, so I get what Suge's saying, but Badass didn't say that in that thing that Dash told him something was gonna happen. So, you know, so I don't know. It probably was, see, that's some politics I don't know.
So why is Snoop always inserting himself into other men's legacies? It's starting to look like a pattern. Every time somebody iconic dies, Pac, Nipsey, Snoop suddenly right there, rewriting history like he was the puppet master all along. With new federal indictments coming down surrounding LA gang figures, the heat is turning up. Whispers are getting louder. Investigators are reportedly looking into how certain alliances within the hip-hop world have enabled violent activities, extortion, racketeering, even murder. And when you connect the dots, Snoop's name keeps popping up beside the wrong people, Big U, Diddy, and even the likes of Jay-Z, all of whom are surrounded by serious allegations and whispers. So the question is no longer if Snoop Dogg is playing both sides, it's how long he's been doing it, and why. Snoop Dogg has made a career off being everyone's favorite uncle, but behind that lovable image might be a man who's built his legacy by cozying up to the winning side. No matter who gets hurt, whether it's Tupac or Nipsey, the pattern doesn't lie. Smile in your face, mourn you when you're gone, and chill with the very people who played a hand in your downfall. Now that the feds are circling in and names are being exposed in court, it's time to question everything we thought we knew about Snoop. Is he really the icon he claims to be? Or has he just been playing a very long, very strategic game? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. And don't forget to watch our next video. Also, smash that like and subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any updates.